Hello, welcome to the. You made me laugh.
Was that a good intro? This will be our cold open.
Hello, welcome to Not Another Who podcast. I'm your host, Sam Morrell.
And I am Christopher Hyde.
Hello, Chris. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Meglos was a tour de force, as we will get into.
It's better than Space Babies.
Anything's better than Space Babies. Let's be honest. I'll take Twin Dilemma any day.
What about the seeds? I mean, the joy to the world.
Now that's tough. I mean, I would probably take any Jodie episode over Joy to the World. And that's saying something. Last episode, we got absolutely railed on views. And we've learned our lesson. No more New Who.
Oh, we could talk about David Tennant.
David Tennant. What's he been up to, Sam?
Just singing at the BAFTAs or the Oscars or whatever it was. I don't know.
The Boscars?
The Boscars, yeah, that's it.
Yes, he hosted the BAFTAs. Did a good song. I mean, he's only good for bringing on Proclaimers songs. He's done it what 3 times now.
He also sung a Pet Shop Boys song.
Which one?
West End Girl. I'll have to send you the link.
Know that. You should. We'll review it on the podcast if we get 100 listens. Yeah, so he did the BAFTAs, and Georgia, his wife, was there, and then nothing of any note happened during the BAFTAs because it's
not
all
even Will Smith punching somebody.
You know what? I think he's been banned. Either that or he's just not there. Do you remember that? Do you remember when he punched or slapped Chris Rock and now look at him. He's done nothing.
I can't think of anything of note.
Exactly. Violence does not get you anywhere. Oh, sorry. Exactly. Violence does not get you anywhere. Talking of violence, Meglos.
It's
not entirely violent.
I was thinking, what violent moment, except for what's his face?
K9.
Yeah, him kicking K9.
That's abysmal. I again, that was an instant dislike to that character. You don't kick animals, even if they're not animals.
And also, his sidekick is an anagram for bad actor.
Is that why it was played by a bad actor?
What was it? Brockledat. Broccoli-dack.
And then we had Jacqueline Hill, unfortunately not reprising her role as Barbara. Yes. Barbara.
Yeah, she played a character called Lexa.
For some reason, Night of the Living Dead just popped into my head.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Literally just that. So she played what? A priestess?
Yeah.
And then we
Then
had the children from the Village of the Damned who, or as you say,
Jedward.
yeah. They made an appearance. All in all, it was a fantastic ep. What are your thoughts?
It's just a middle-ish Tom Baker story. It's not bad. It's not good.
Yeah, pretty middle of
It's
the road.
it's a watchable story. I love the performance of Tom Baker and Lala Ward.
Yes, you can
I
kind
want,
of tell that they do work well together as like companion doctor duo.
well, they were married, weren't they?
That is true. Lala Ward has had her fair share of really bad
Anyway, we won't get into
Richard
that.
Dawkins. No,
Yeah.
but yeah, Tom Baker, I feel like has never really puts in a bad performance. Sometimes he might just sort of be a bit grumpy, but yeah, I've always found him to just be like pleasurable in any story, and he's playing two roles in this.
Yeah. I am Meglos.
A cactus baker. Yeah, interesting when a doctor plays two roles. You know, it is always interesting to see how they tackle that second role.
Mm.
I'm not sure how I feel in terms of. So, where would you rank like duo doctor roles? Because I don't know whether I'd put Meglos like first. I'd say maybe second or third.
I think Troughton's role in The Enemy of the World is first.
That's top. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that.
Even with the dodgy accent.
That makes it even better because you can differentiate. Well, Amanda. For that.
Salamander. Fraser Hines and Debbie Watlin basically took the mick out of him. His accent.
I wouldn't have expected anything else, let's be honest. They were quite tight in terms of friends, aren't they?
Mm.
Weren't they? What other doctors have played duo? Obviously, there's the elephant in the room, but we'll not mention him yet. Matt Smith, he played a dual role. He was okay.
Yeah, it's that clone guy, the doppelganger.
Yeah, the doppelganger. I don't like the
In
episode, but he
yeah.
he did a good job. Trying to oh, there's William Hartnell, obviously,
Oh yeah, he plays the robot doctor
the Robo Doctor,
in the
which
Chase.
is just less wooden, surprisingly, than other doctors. I'm not naming any names.
That's obviously David Tennant.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention the elephant in the room because he's technically not played two roles. He's played like five. He's playing the 16th Doctor, apparently.
Yeah.
We won't go into that. What else about Meglos? I like the sets. The sets were good.
Yeah, I like that forest.
It's quite hard to replicate a forest in a brightly lit studio, but
Yeah.
they do it quite well.
Yeah, the best forest there was in Planet of Evil.
Oh. See, I was going to say Dalek's Master Plan. You know, the
Yeah, that's
surviving
a good
clip of
forest as
the.
well. Yeah, Doctor
Is
Who
that,
have been pretty good at forests.
which is interesting because you'd think that, you know, it would be quite difficult to replicate something as natural as a forest, but
Mm.
especially if you're doing an alien planet, you can kind of have some creative license with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story wasn't too bad. I think it was good. I don't know how I'd rank it in terms of like favorite episodes. Out of the episodes so far, I'd say it's fourth, third. I'd say third.
Yeah. The stories we've reviewed so far, I would say, yeah, probably third. And the it's at the bottom.
We'll just not mention that.
Is
Yeah.
it retconned?
I think because of how bad obviously this isn't helping, but because of how bad and how poorly received the last episode was, I'm just not going to acknowledge it at all.
Ratings are not everything.
Ratings aren't everything, but when you are just starting out as a podcast, the one thing you don't want is for there to be a dramatic drop between episodes. You want to keep the momentum going, and we've learnt our lesson, and we apologise, and we will get back to our regularly scheduled programming immediately. It's interesting when you get to like Baker's era, because of how long he was in the role. You can really kind of his era is very broad.
Yeah, you start off with gothic horror, then you get sort of like storybook elements in the Graham Williams area. You know, that airy fairy stuff.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It was all about knights and castles and books in the Graham Williams era, I think. And
I wonder if
high
that's
camp.
what inspired Stephen Moffat.
Yeah,
Yeah, bit of Moffat vibes.
yeah, it definitely has Moffat vibes with the Williams era, and I think Meglos fits in with that vibe. I think it's
Yeah,
not. It feels a bit out of place in season 18 with the hard science fiction.
yeah, that's when
Thing.
they sort of really ramped up the sci-fi aspect, wasn't it? Really,
Yeah.
because you started out because obviously at the end of Pertwee's era and that transition between both doctors and showrunners, you kind of had a bit of an overlap. So Baker's sort of first season, maybe first two seasons, were a bit sort of Pertwee-esque, and then it kind of got in on the rails of Baker for a bit, and then it that JNT takeover started really sort of showing Baker's exit, really.
Yeah, you could tell the writings on the wall, and you could tell he was not really wanting to be there.
Yeah, like you can kind of tell his enthusiasm's gone, but his acting is still there,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
he brings out a great performance, but I feel he feels like I think he was tired at that point after doing it for like 7 years.
Well, it's amazing to think that he actually went for that long. Like 7 years is a long time for anyone in a major role. And I wonder if there was a part of him, obviously not at the end of his Doctor, but in the middle, that he just wanted to carry on because he was enjoying it, or whether it was literally just. But I wonder if staying on for that long really did hurt or help his career, because being in that role, being the solid Doctor for that long, didn't really help anything, which is a shame because obviously he is the fan favorite.
Yeah.
I also, I know we're going to sort of dive into trivia because you've got some fun facts, but I read somewhere that Tom Baker hated the question marks on his lapels of his shirt.
Yeah. Tom Baker was like, "Oh, we put bloody question marks on my lapels."
I think he said somewhere that why would he have question marks? He knows who he is. And I was like, that's the perfect response.
Yeah.
I can see the question marks being there for like Davison and maybe like Colin at a stretch, but Tom didn't need the question marks at all.
No.
You kind of do see the costume design. Baker, I would say, out of his costume, the scarf is probably his best in this era, in this sort of season.
Yeah, I
I
like
just
the
love that
colour of
colour.
his scarf in that season. Then Peter Davison tears it up at the beginning of season 19.
Can't believe that. Why would you destroy such a beautiful item of clothing?
You probably thought, oh, I don't want the scarf. I want a sticker's salary.
Give me a cricket ball any day. Yeah. So, and you've also got Romana in her sailor costume.
The last story was the Leisure Hive. Was that?
Oh, I like the Leisure Hive.
Yeah, it was the sailor one in that as well, wasn't it?
Meglos, Romana. Yeah, sailor. Oh wait, no. She has a costume change at the beginning with the chronic back pain.
Chronic back pain.
A chronic hysteresis, Romana. I swear my Baker impression gets worse the more I do it.
I think that's going to be a running joke, isn't it?
What, my Baker impression?
Yeah.
Yeah, any episode we do of Tom, I am just going to go into a Tom Baker impression. Would you like a jelly baby? Yeah. Romana.
Would you like a salami sandwich?
I have extra salami for your sandwich. Ha ha, Roman. So what fun facts do you have in store for our episode of Meglos?
Oh, let me just get my notes up.
I'll give you a moment. I'll do some.
My laptop went to sleep partway through.
Your old and grey laptop.
Can't wait to get my new laptop so I don't have to record off my phone anymore.
Yes, Sam has been having laptop issues in terms of his laptop is as old as
the Earth.
Anything.
It's as old as the internet.
Coal. Yes. It's that old. It's powered by steam.
You know, the ratings, apart from episode 1, the ratings didn't pass 5 million.
Wow.
So for part 2, it got 4.2 million. For part 3, it got 4.7 million. And for part 4, it got 4.7 million.
Still better than New Who.
It's around New.
Pretty much the same figures, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I think season 18 wasn't very well received, but I think
overall figures were in the 4 million, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you've got 18 seasons of a show, and you can kind of see, because this is the problem, is Doctor Who thrives on reinvention. That's what boosts the figures up. So I think by the end of Baker's era, that viewership was going off, not necessarily because of him, but because people had better things to do on a Saturday evening.
I think they were watching Buck Rogers, which is another science fiction series at that time.
Hmm. I remember Buck Rogers only because of the Looney Tunes parody.
I don't think I know that one.
Dodgers in the 24th and a half century.
Oh
Something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
It was hilarious. Any other trivia?
Yeah, when writing the 2010 story, The Lodger, Gareth Roberts had thought of making a sequel to Meglos, but this sequel idea was dropped.
Who's Gareth Roberts?
Gareth Roberts, what did he write? I think he wrote the Shakespeare Code, I think.
So nothing of any note then.
Are you making a joke?
I'm intentionally trying to discredit his contribution. I just don't rate him very highly as a writer. Like, he's quite mid. But it's interesting that out of all the classic Who stories to do a sequel to, you choose Meglos. I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't see James Corden being a cactus, or Matt Smith being a cactus, and James Corden being the Earthling.
Well, so he wrote the Attack of the Grass, the Shakespeare Code, the Unicorn and the Wasp. I kind of like that story. Planet of the Dead, eh. The Lodger, eh. Closing Time, eh. The Caretaker, eh.
So pretty mid, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is interesting that he chose a mid-episode to try and do a sequel to. Maybe that was him playing to his strengths rather than weaknesses.
Bill Fraser only wanted to agree to take the role of Grugger. Is it Grugger?
Gruger?
Gruger? I don't know. General Grugger. I think it is, isn't it?
Alright, my name's General Grugger. That was my really bad Cockney impression. Yes. He only accepted the role on what condition?
Yeah, one condition and to allow to kick K9. His request was granted, and he later appeared in the spin-off pilot K9 and Company.
Wow. So he got to kick K9 twice.
Did he kick
One
K9
physically.
in
I would say metaphorically. I'd say spiritually he kicked K9. You know, because let's be honest, K9 and Company, as much as that is the best spin-off that Doctor Who has ever created in its entirety, yeah, I would say metaphorically kicked him because, you know, the show didn't last long.
Crawford Logan, who played Dietrich, he also voiced Meglos as well.
Oh, okay. So when Baker wasn't voicing him, it was another act. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it was the guy who was playing Dietrich in the episode.
Not dodecahedronics.
No, it's the only multi-part story to feature all the credited cast members in every episode, other than being Edge of Destruction.
Well, yeah, but that was only 2 episodes, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
was a very self-contained story.
It was just Hartnell, and the Three Companions.
Okay, interesting facts. Anything else to note?
No. So
well, that was Fun Facts with Sam Morrell.
So how did you find out about this story?
Apart from Cactus Baker, I'm just going to keep calling him Cactus. Like, it's funny. I'd say I first sort of heard about this story when it was released on DVD. sometime in the 2000s, maybe 2010s. I remember seeing the
2011.
cover. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I remember seeing the DVD and thinking, well, that's an episode I'm not going to watch in a hurry.
Why not?
I just looked at the cover and it had Tom Baker as a cactus, and I thought, oh gosh, that just special effects wise, incredible for its time, but yeah, it just looked a bit.
It looks alright. I've seen worse Doctor Who effects.
I think it's more because growing up, I was aware that Doctor Who had a bad reputation for bad special effects, especially in the classic era. And I was just a bit worried, I think, about watching anything that looked like I feel like if I had watched it and liked it, then I would be judged. And that once you like a story that is I mean, I like Love and Monsters, for example, and that's a notoriously bad story with bad special effects.
I feel New Who's visual effects have aged quicker and poorly than classic Who effects, I feel.
I would say from Tom's era forward, I would agree. But there's some special effects in Pertwee's and obviously the first two Doctors that do come across as a little bit
Okay.
amateur. Like the tinfoil used in Troughton's era and bubble wrap.
Tinfoil? When was tinfoil used?
I swear there's a tinfoil monster somewhere. There must have been. I mean, they had
the Invasion of Time.
That's Baker's, isn't it?
Yeah, it was tinfoil creatures in that.
I might have been thinking of that, but there was at least there was like bubble wrap and you look at yes. Oh, and Resurrection of the Daleks.
Yeah.
I swear there's bubble wrap in that, yeah. But the thing is, it's I would say, yeah, in terms of New Who, especially the first couple of series, the special effects has aged, but I would say the best effects were always the explosions. In terms of classic Who, like they went big and hard on explosions.
CGI. They were actual explosions.
Well, they didn't have BBC Health and Safety back then, so there was nothing really stopping them from going full head on.
No.
Well, it's like that notorious story about Sophie Aldred nearly dying.
Oh, in the tank, yeah.
Which is why I think that New Who should learn lessons from Classic Who and try and kill off one of their companions.
No.
Just get Millie Gibson in a big old water tank.
Why?
Come on, we need some risk. We can't have just space babies and a
true.
dog through the vortex.
True.
Even if you do get Gabriel Wolf back.
I get what you mean now. Yeah, I thought it was real life though. I was like, what?
Ah, fun. So that was Meglos. Was it good? Well, it was fine, but was it the perfect story? You be the judge.
What would you rate it?
Putting a number to something like that. I'd say about a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Or maybe a 4 out of 8.
4 out of 8?
If a 5 out of 10 is half, then a 4 out of 8 is half.
Yeah, well, yeah.
or a 3 out of 6?
Nah, I give it about a 5 out of 10. It's a middle-ish story. It's not bad. It's not Warriors of the Deep or the Space Pirates bad, or Love and Monsters, or Fear Her.
Yeah. I don't think I'm in any rush to rewatch it, but it would be something I would rewatch over anything else. And this was my first time watching it as well, because I haven't seen a lot of Classic Who episodes. I've seen probably the best ones, as Sam and I were talking earlier about the episodes that I haven't seen and how maybe this should just be what make Chris watch episodes of Who he hasn't seen before.
You haven't seen The Demons either. That's one of the classics.
Yeah, this is the thing, is some episodes have literally just slipped me by, and I'm now in my late 20s thinking where did all that lost time go? So I've got to catch up, and I definitely think, obviously because I haven't seen The Demons and you have, that you will get me to watch it at some point in the near or
definitely
mid future.
Yeah, The Demons will have on the list at some point.
Or have your say. Pressure us to watch episodes.
Yeah, send in your episodes.
Send in your ideas, your thoughts, your suggestions, and we'll read them. Will we do anything? That's for you to find out. I think I did enjoy this. Definitely more than last week's. We won't talk about it, but definitely better than the other one.
Evil.
Do you think they should bring Meglos back?
No.
No. You wouldn't want to see a sequel to that story?
No. Not even if Gareth Roberts even wrote it, I wouldn't want to see it.
Sequel to a Classic Who story would you want to see if they were to do one?
The Demons.
As I haven't seen it, I'll take your word for it.
It's a great story.
That's the one with the village, isn't it? It's a bit like, with the maypole.
Mm-hmm.
I know aspects of it. See, this is the thing. Even with episodes I haven't seen, I've seen things, but I haven't seen, because the guy looks like evil Mr. Tumnus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have I just ruined that story for you now?
No, you haven't. I live quite close to the village.
Yes, you said previously, didn't you?
It's about an hour away from here by car.
That should be an episode. We should visit the Doctor Who location, just recreate scenes.
You want to come down here and we'll visit the village? I don't know how we get to it. It's in the middle of nowhere.
What we'll do, we'll break Bessie out of whatever museum it's in, and we'll drive down. Neither of us have a license, but that doesn't stop us.
Oh, we can visit a Doctor Who location. It's in my hometown.
We can, and we may soon for a special extra bit of our. Because are we going to film that, or are we just going to leave it to the viewer's imagination?
Are you going to come down to wherever I live? Well, I lived. I don't live there anymore, but
you don't want to dox yourself.
No,
it's fine. No, yeah, I'll probably come down or up, or I can't. No, sideways. I'll definitely come and visit because it's a place I like to visit regularly, being so close to it.
I'm
not going to say.
Yeah.
I'm worried.
It's somewhere in the West Midlands, let's say that.
Yes. definitely. The West Midlands is very broad and very wide, but it's
Yeah.
somewhere within that geographical space. Yeah, because I think we should film that for a special segment of next time's podcast, is us on location visiting the Doctor Who location. And who knows, maybe we'll have some interesting trivia to provide. My thumb's disappeared. There we go. Shall we finish the podcast with any news?
The show's coming back in on April the 12th. Is it April the 12th?
Yeah. Yes. Let me have a quick Google.
I forgot to mention that at the start of the show.
To be fair, we kind of skimmed the news because, Doctor Who season 15 release date April 12th. So I don't know when Easter is, but get your Easter eggs out, lads and lasses, because Doctor Who's coming near you.
Yeah, I don't know when Easter is actually this year.
I know that it's sometime soon. I don't celebrate, so
neither.
No, I think it's I don't know. Anyway, it's coming April 12th, so we're just over a month away. We're like a month and 2 weeks away, and it'll run for 8 weeks. And it's only available in the UK via BBC iPlayer, but it is available on Disney Plus wherever you are located in the world. Anything else to add for this incredible podcast?
That sounded sarcastic.
I know. For some reason, I came into this podcast with very mixed energy. Like I'm feeling, but I'm trying to be positive, if that makes sense.
You can just edit that bit out if you want.
I'm just going to bleep. I'm just going to use a lot of bleeps. We have some new stuff, don't we? We are planning to do some new things.
Yes, new things.
To liven up the podcast.
So stay tuned for that. And the next episode is The Gunfighters. Join us next time!
Yeah, I can't wait. The Gunfighters is good. That wasn't me being sarcastic. I actually do like that episode, but
I like The Gunfighters as well.
Yeah, and it'd be nice
to
actually review. Well, I think because it's a Hartnell, it always gets flown under the radar, and it's not an alien-based one. It's literally just cowboys.
Yeah,
but I think it will be interesting to dip back into the 60s, and I can't wait. And you'll have to wait because you're not us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Subscribe. Leave us a review. Leave us a comment on how you found this episode and what you want us to do next, because we do have ideas, but we're always welcome to our audience as well.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.